Kushal, you are the, if I may say so, the entrepreneur in the news. During this very gloomy times, there is something to feel proud and happy about. $100 million Series E round led by TCV. I wanted
TV
to
and
get
Dragon.
get that right. And Dragoneer. Congratulations. Now, I want to go
Thank you.
behind. Let's go to the story. Tell us about FarEye and how have you built it, right? It's a solid company, was just going through all the numbers, the number of drivers that you support, the solutions that you provide in North America and Europe. How have you gone about building? Just get us inside FarEye today.
Absolutely, and Shradha, I 200% agree with what you're saying, the gloomy times. Like I myself was actually under COVID about a month back.
Oh,
And it's tough. It's actually
yeah,
tough. Like I completely don't disagree with that. And that was a phase where instead of quarters, you start counting of days, and then everything looks very, very different. Like one side, you've been very focused on your passion. You want to build this, make this global, and suddenly within this 2 3 weeks, where you're
yeah.
like alone in that one room and you're thinking where you are, and all of those questions suddenly hits you. So, but yes, like this news makes myself also very, very strong from that, and kind of make it cover, and sure all of us who've had any challenges in our loved ones, whatever support we are providing. I heard about you guys as well, and the way I think for me the great inspiration was, I would say, Shraddha, is when you guys called out the change of logo, right? It was such a
Yeah.
good feeling to make it so popular, double mask and all. But yeah, towards the other point, what you're asking, right? So look, we started FarEye when e-commerce started in India. It's 2015. Like it was just maturing, right?
Hmm,
Uh,
hmm.
and then it was very evident that Alibaba, Amazon, like you look east and the west, it is here to stay. It's not really a bubble which gonna burst and everyone would be back. That was proven, almost proven when you look at the world, right? Uh, and then our feeling was that look, as a country, we are great in technology. Uh, it started with the wave of IT service, and we'll be able to build great tech products. So from building e-commerce, it's obviously challenging, but we'll be able to build it up. The challenge will be when logistics will happen on the ground. And that's how this clicked that look, let's build a platform for logistics service providers and retailers, which they can use to provide an awesome delivery experience. Like, why would everyone need to have a large engineering team and build it and then build it only for themselves? It's such a great feeling if you have a single platform which can cater to most of these service providers and retailers. That's where we started off. Our journey started with brands like Blue Darts, the Domino's of the world, uh, where it's essentially there's a delivery promise which has been made, and on ground, how do you execute it? Like
Hmm.
for a driver, what is the motivation? Like you and I, we want deliveries and we want it same day. We want it in 60 minutes. But for the driver, there's no motivation, right? Why should he really work hard to give us delivery in 60 minutes? And then you have technologies to kind of prevent and this, but there's nothing which makes him productive anymore.
Yeah.
That's where we kind of started. Let's start building it on ground. So we first worked with drivers, understood what's been their daily life, moved with them on the road, and understood they have to take so many decisions on their own. Which stop, how much time will it take? And they're asking so many, where's
Hmm.
this house? Because the addressing system in India is also a little tricky, right? It's not that after
Yeah.
48 you will have 49. Maybe 49 is in a different street itself, right? So
Yeah,
we
yeah,
started
yeah.
with them, and then it went to the dispatchers. That for a dispatcher, he's got thousands of parcels and so many drivers. How does he map? So how to use data and decision making, which is the shortest route? How many drivers do I need? So this is first step of making operations seamless. The next is for us as customer, so that we can know where the shipment is. So the anxiety goes down, and we get the feeling of the Ubers of the world or the Amazons of the world, where we know exactly where the shipment is, what time it's going to arrive, and if you want to change it, we can do that. And then over and above now, how do you launch new services? Like I think specifically with COVID, right? The delivery has become a center focus for a lot of businesses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe it was just a corner before, but now it's become a core focus.
Hmm.
So we kind of work with these brands that how do you launch same day? How do you launch next day delivery? How do you launch? How do you provide that great delivery experience consumers are looking for? And at a mission level, if I say, look, we want to ensure that all the brands are able to provide a great delivery experience out there. So it's
Yeah.
not really. So how do you democratize that? And now I think it started up in India. And honestly, if I just say that, right, my feeling was it only existed in India. These challenges. We thought the world outside India is it's just connected. You can have every single shipment the way you want delivered and all. And then we went on to the places outside, like places in Asia. We were like, oh, it's broken everywhere in Asia. Then the feeling was it's broken in Asia, but other parts of the world it works. And then we entered Europe and North America, and it was like similar across the world because
Wow.
it's new. E-commerce has come up new, and none of the folks were actually prepared for it. That how the industry is going to change. Like postal operators, if you look at it, they've been oldest, and they happen to be the oldest in technology. And our question is why? There's
Yeah.
such great platforms available. So we work with the postal providers like Post Finland, right? Now, for them, how do you help them provide the be the best delivery provider in their region? So they want to launch new services. They want to ensure that customers are able to track and get the best experience. So to them, to brands like Walmart, which are grocery companies, how do you help them provide time slot based deliveries? How do you help them have uh, scalable delivery? Because I think at least pandemic made it very clear that logistics is life.
What does this low cost, low code, intelligent delivery management by FarEye means?
So आप एक फर्नीचर ऑपरेटर हो.
Huh.
अब आपको ऑनलाइन फर्नीचर, you want to sell furniture online now, right?
Yeah.
Now, I as a customer comes to your website, shradhasfurniture.com. Now, I want to choose that when will it be delivered,
Huh.
right? Because I need to
Yeah.
be available at home. So it
Yeah.
starts with, and how do you provide that delivery time to me? It cannot be static. It has to be dynamic
Yeah.
because product, where are the products available? Consumer ka address kidhar hai? How's the logistic performance happening right now? And maybe you don't have your own delivery fleet. You work with the third parties in the country, right?
Yeah.
So getting all that information and giving a delivery slot, that's part of what we mean by
Ah.
intelligent. और एक वर्ल्ड था जिसमें ना वो स्टैंडर्ड लिखा रहता था कि 3 से 10 दिन के बीच में डिलीवरी हो सकती.
Yeah. Yeah.
अब उस वर्ल्ड में हम लोग नहीं जीते हैं यार. मतलब हमारे लिए डिलीवरी एक्सपीरियंस परचेज जितना इंपॉर्टेंट है
Yes.
कि
Yes.
who can deliver us faster. That's where we want to go, and
Yes.
predictable. So that's what we mean by intelligent. अब क्या हुआ श्रद्धा, you started this business, then you said कि यार मेरे को सर्विसेज भी लॉन्च करनी है कि फर्नीचर डिलीवरी के साथ अगर आपको सर्विस इंजीनियर भी चाहिए वो फिटमेंट भी कर देगा आपके लिए, सो दैट यू हैव कंप्लीट स्टफ रेडी, राइट? एंड देन यू हैव योर ओन प्रोसेस, क्योंकि लॉजिस्टिक्स तो आप अपने हिसाब से रन कर रहे हो ऑपरेशंस में. तो
हाँ.
अब उसके लिए द चैलेंज वाज नाउ एवरीवन हैज टू बिल्ड देयर ओन कॉन्फिग कस्टमाइजेशन. ये खुद का प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड करना था. दैट इज वेयर वी केम विद द लो कोड स्टफ कि यार आप थोड़ा चेंजेस इसी के ऊपर कर लो ना, इट्स ओके. You don't need to buy the entire application. See, what has happened is we've been moving at a different level as IT maturity. So, पहले large platforms आए, right? Now, platforms में फिर भी understood कि यार हम काफी ज्यादा sticky, मतलब we can't move out of it. It's everything is dependent on that single platform. तो अगर उसमें feature नहीं है तो I'm kind of blocked. So then point applications आए. Now, point applications में ये हुआ कि यार I need so many applications, it gets difficult to integrate. Then the data is there, data is here, and then I'm in general tying all the IT applications. Now the way we've come up is low code, जिसमें logistics is where we are addressing. But कोई भी company, यार देखो ये 80% ready product है, आप इसको यूज कर सकते हो. बट अगर आपको आपके हिसाब से थोड़ा सा मॉडिफाई करना है तो यू कैन हैव योर ओन टीम्स और आवर टीम.
Okay.
Just do that. So that
Okay.
makes it a very strong value proposition where you have a platform, but you still have flexibility to modify as per your own. Because brands, अब किसी भी इंडस्ट्री में ना जहाँ पे स्टैंडर्डाइजेशन नहीं है, रिटेल, लॉजिस्टिक्स, वहां पे a fixed solution does not fit all. So
एक
that's why the
customization का example दो कैसे अगर if I'm a brand and I want to use your low code yes, management system, then what do I do?
see, so maybe day zero you start. आप बोले यार मेरे को तो 2 दिन का डिलीवरी सर्विसेज से स्टार्ट करना है, आई डोंट वांट टू लॉन्च एनीथिंग. देन यू सेड कि यार अब ये 2 दिन तो हो गया है, अब ये नया फेस्टिव सीजन आ रहा है जिसमें सेम डे के लिए मेरे को एक सर्विसेज लॉन्च करनी है, राइट? अब दिस इज अ रेवेन्यू फॉर यू. सो यू सेड यार अब
Yeah.
कोई भी आईटी एप्लीकेशन ला के दो, बट ये प्रॉब्लम मेरे को सॉल्व करनी है, राइट? सो दैट
हाँ.
बिकेम अ सेपरेट नीड,
हाँ.
राइट? फिर लेट्स आप बोले कि यार मेरे को कैश ऑन डिलीवरी भी स्टार्ट करना है पेमेंट्स के लिए, राइट? आई वांट टू गेट दैट डन. अब पेमेंट्स के लिए लॉन्च कर दिया. फिर आप बोले यार बट व्हाट अबाउट कॉन्टैक्टलेस डिलीवरी? अब तो कोविड आ गया है तो मैं तो घर में नहीं जा सकता हूँ, अब डिलीवरी तो बाहर ही छोड़ के आनी पड़ेगी. तो वी लाइक ठीक है यार ये चेंज कर दिया, अब आप कॉन्टैक्टलेस डिलीवरी कर दो. देन इट वाज लाइक यार कस्टमर बोल रहा है कब डिलीवरी हुई उसको पता ही नहीं है, तो उसको एक फोटो, ही शुड बी एबल टू have a photo that the product is being left here in the society gate or wherever it is, right? So that became a new feature.
Yeah. Got
Then
it.
you said, yeah, acha, what about driver's temperature? We're not sure. So can you show me the driver temperature as well? So overall, the space is evolving, right? And that's
Yeah.
the customization example, if I say, where every day you're trying to launch new to continue innovating. So for a lot of our customers, we are actually a great platform for them to innovate as well.
Today, if I'm a very big brand, for example, a Swiggy, maybe I can build my own solutions. But here, if I'm a brand based in Bangalore which wants to do a D2C, I can do it through your platform also.
Correct. And then even this very few brands who've spent years and years to build this technology, right? And
Yeah.
taken so much. अब आपको आज ही शुरू करना है, अब आप 5 साल तो नहीं रह सकते और 5 साल में तो
Yeah.
बिजनेस ही चला जाएगा. So it gives you day zero everything. And then the other interesting part is, Shradha, the platform is evolving every day. We're getting requirements from all our customers. तो उसमें कुछ फीचर्स जो आपको आज नहीं भी पता है, that is already getting built in. And then there's lot of data in it. Every driver, every delivery, how much time, where the customer lives, payment options, preference options, all this data comes to our platform. So we are able to take so many decisions using this data. अब आप individually बनाओगे तो आप बोलोगे मेरे पास तो इतना डेटा ही नहीं है. Why should I
Yeah.
invest in that?
Yeah.
So there though, like I would say it's essentially no brainer to build it versus buy. And delivery वाला part was essentially कि जब आपने order किया तब से लेके till the time product reaches to the customer, everything the platform can take care of. कि मेरे को खुद की
Brilliant.
fleet use करनी है, third party fleet use करनी है, now which driver should go, how much time will it take, what will be the sequence, what time it will be. So the entire journey from the time you're placing the order till the time you get the product, the platform takes care. और ग्लोबल भी हम उसमें थोड़ा सा इन जनरल प्रेफर करते हैं ऐड करना, because we started building in India and now we scaled across Asia, Europe and North America.
Now tell me how of course SaaS businesses are can be made anywhere and grown anywhere, but you made that happen. वो बताओ कैसे हुआ है इतना scale इतनी जल्दी?
हाँ यार, lot of credit goes to investors, Shradha, honestly, if you ask me. Like I still go back 2015, 16, we were building up in India. एंड काफी ज्यादा पेट्रियोटिज्म भी है यार, वो फीलिंग भी था कि हम तो इंडिया को लॉजिस्टिक्स पूरा सॉल्व करेंगे, हम अभी बाहर नहीं जाएंगे. वी वर वेरी क्लियर. एंड देन दीस इन्वेस्टर्स सेड कि गो आउट एंड मीट, एंड आई वाज लाइक नो, आई वांट टू फोकस. ही इज लाइक मेरा पैसा है, मैं भेज रहा हूँ, मिलके तो आ जा. सो आई वाज लाइक ठीक है, लेट्स गो एंड मीट. एंड द नेक्स्ट in Asia, like typically when you start from here, the next two places you go is either Southeast Asia or Middle East, like Dubai. And ye do region is typically you fly first, right? So we went to those places, and उसमें चल क्या रहा था कि यार, and that's a good learning I had. So let's say you're based out of Dubai, an e-commerce company wants to launch deliveries. Now I'm telling you, Shradha, once you confirm, I'll come and meet you. And you're like, meet me and then I'll confirm. Now, मतलब how will I confirm without meeting? So वो वैसा deadlock बना हुआ था. Then I went and I met you, and you like, your product is great, give us. See, what happened is specifically in this e-commerce logistics, India's way was way ahead than rest of Asia and Europe, if you see. So the product we built, like the volumes we handled, people used to go nuts and crazy. You handled so much of volume. So that's one thing which enabled. Second, there's massive referenceability.
Hmm.
So there's only limited folks. So not just us, uh, companies and across the world have been following up individuals who build scalable e-commerce or ran such operations. अब जैसे ही वो individual वहां जाता है, used to say, यार फारा तू आ जा. So for us, it was that Rocket Internet group which gave us that start in
Oh.
Southeast Asia. So Zalora in Southeast Asia, Namshi and other ones in Middle East. And then we understood, यार ये तो काफी सही है. मतलब आप इंडिया में बिल्ड करो और ओवरसीज अगर अर्न कर रहे हो तो यार द नेट प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इज वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट. एंड जब एक बार ये चमका, देन तो वी सेड बॉस अब तो इसको स्केल ही करेंगे, अब तो विल टेक
Wow.
इट टू एवरी सिंगल रीजन. सो दैट वाज वन एलिमेंट. एंड फॉर अस इट जस्ट हैपेंड. मतलब वी डिडंट प्लान अ लॉट. फिर कस्टमर्स में क्या हुआ, जैसे मोस्ट ऑफ दीज ब्रांड्स आर ग्लोबल, राइट? द वॉलमार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, DHLs ऑफ द वर्ल्ड, यूपीएस एंड ऑल. सो दे टुक अस टू डिफरेंट रीजन. यार
Yeah.
इस रीजन में व्हाई डोंट यू ऑपरेट? So for us, our starting cost was fairly lower, and we worked with them, figured out, and then slowly launched in that market. So the existing customers' trust and the people referenceability, I feel at least industries like banking, financial services, logistics, जिसमें new entrants थोड़े से कम होते हैं. Typically, people are moving within them, right? In these kind of industries, while everywhere it plays a very big role, in this there are only 100, 500 influencers across. So if you're delivering a great service, it automatically goes to different regions. And
Yeah.
India is a complex market.
फंडामेंटल्स में अगर जाओ तो दो तीन चीजें, या चाहे वो एक चीज हो या दो तीन चीजें जो तुमने सही की, बिकॉज आई एम श्योर मेनी पीपल वुड हैव ट्राइड और डिड डिफरेंट थिंग्स, कि तुम आज यहाँ पे हो, तो वो क्या होंगे दो तीन चीज?
यार मेरे को तो लगता है मैंने बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसी सही करी हैं.
तो बताओ. अभी विल लैप इट अप एंड लिसन.
बट हाँ, अगर आप दो तीन पूछते हो यार, तो कोर पे, एंड एटलीस्ट आई हियर इट फ्रॉम माय अर्ली इन्वेस्टर्स एज वेल, राइट? एंड विद दिस,
इन्वेस्टर्स.
so Seth was my first institutional investor, and both the guys, Alok and Pratik, they actually moved out in different. So Alok started his own. Pratik is in now Excel. So फिर then DHL came in as a strategic investor and all. And one thing we've learned at least, and which is कि यार our customer focus was very high. Like हमको नहीं पता था business कैसे build करना है, global कैसे जाना है. यार मैंने पासपोर्ट इन्वेस्टर के बोलने के बाद बनवाया, तो ग्लोबल बिजनेस का तो आप समझ ही सकते हो कि मतलब वेयर डिड वी स्टार्टेड, राइट? बट फॉर अस वी वर वेरी क्लियर कि कस्टमर पेन में नहीं होना चाहिए. सो दैट इज वन आई वुड इन जनरल कॉल आउट. यार चाहे तुम बोर्ड मीटिंग्स कर रहे हो, डिस्कशंस कर रहे हो, रिव्यू कर रहे हो, इट हैज टू स्टार्ट विद व्हाट इज माय कस्टमर स्टेटस. टिल दैट टाइम यू आर फोकस्ड ऑन कस्टमर, आप काफी हद तक चीजें ठीक करते रहोगे, एंड डेटा मतलब इंफॉर्मेशन वहां से मिलती रहेगी. Which customer is liking, which is not? Is there a pattern to it? Why customers don't like you? Is there a pattern for it? What do these customers need more? Is there a pattern to it? तो आपका upsell, cross sell, किन markets में जाना है? Customers खुद सारे markets में ले जाते हैं यार. मतलब मेरे को लगता है यार customers are actually really really smart. They know, and they are willing to pay. मतलब B2B specifically में they want you to grow. क्योंकि अगर आप नहीं ग्रो किए तो उनका बिजनेस अटक जाएगा ना यार. उसके लिए इतना चैलेंज है, तो वो तो सब कुछ कर रहा है आपकी ग्रोथ के लिए. सो दैट्स वन व्हिच आई वुड से, राइट? द सेकंड फॉर अस वाज वो इनोवेशन या इंक्विजिटिवनेस होता है ना कि यार, और मे बी आई वुड से दैट staying hungry, or that ability going out and trying to learn, that is very important. मतलब चाहे आप उसको हिंदी में बोल दो कि यार वो एक कीड़ा होता है कि यार जानना है और जान. तो यार we started, Shradha, so for me it was कि यार events conferences में जाते हैं, and events conferences में इसलिए जाते हैं क्योंकि यार वहाँ पे काफी अच्छी जनता आती है. मतलब उन जनता से आप मिल नहीं पाओगे जनरली, और वो डाइस में जब बोल रहे होते हैं, हियर टू देम, बिकॉज दीज गाइज आर रियली नॉलेजेबल एंड इंटेलिजेंट. सो आई यूज्ड टू गो इन ऑल टाइप्स ऑफ इवेंट्स. मतलब मैं एजुकेशन के इवेंट्स में भी जाता था यार, कि नॉलेज ही तो है, ले लो कहीं भी मिल रही है. एंड देन आई विल स्पीक विद दोस फोक्स हु आर गेटिंग डाउन ऑन द डाइस. तो ऐसे ही आई गॉट माय फर्स्ट कस्टमर. सो जबोंग का सीईओ एक इवेंट में, he was just stepping down, and I was just telling him कि look, this is my idea, this is what I'm trying to build and all. He's like, we need it, why don't you come and meet us? And I was like, wow. He gave me his card. I wrote on 2 weeks down the line, he called us. And उसकी वजह से we could build a product sitting with the customer.
Wow.
So, and that's how we expanded to Middle East, Southeast Asia, Germany, North America. वो हर जगह ना वो जो 20% ऑफ एक्स्ट्रा ट्राई करते हो कि यार देखते हैं ना क्या होगा, मना कर देगा. So I think that ability to explore, that is the other element which I feel very, very important. And third, I feel as a founder, you you need to be strong in communication and selling, because either it's investors or it's building team or it goes down to, let's say, getting customers. This is one element you have to. वो और
Yeah.
वो स्टोरी है, वो आपकी स्टोरी है, कोई भी आपसे बेटर नहीं बता सकता है. मतलब
Yeah.
even the world's best marketer can't come and tell that story better than you. So you need to go out and tell your story to the world. So these three things, अगर आप मुझे three पूछते हो वैसे तो मैं I feel कि too many things. But yeah, these are the three things I would definitely call out. कि यार customer focus and these are sharp, उससे हटना ही नहीं चाहिए. The other element I would say is going out and then ability to learn that. And third, you should be in that storytelling mode when you are meeting. Because if you're not doing that, you're losing a lot from an opportunity.
Team कैसे बनाए, initial लोगों को कैसे लाए, because I think that scale also has come because you have a very good team. So tell me, how did you go about building your team?
Yes, so there I'm very, very clear कि founder का initially उसका काम होता है customers और थोड़ा सा investor, और partially तुम team भी build कर रहे हो, but उसके बाद team element ही बढ़ता जाएगा और बाकी सब reduce होता जाएगा. So to the point you were saying, right, a lot of our strong leaders we've hired are also from references. And that's where their humility plays a very big role to what you called out, right?
Yeah.
You knew me, you know that I'm very, very passionate about this. I want to do this. अब आपको कोई और लॉजिस्टिक्स का काफी अच्छा लीडर मिला, आपने उसको बोला यार कुशल से बात करिए तूने, I must say you should speak. And
Yeah.
that just opened so many doors. And that's how we
Yeah.
got so many leaders on board कि यार आप humble हो, आप मिल रहे हो और आप काफी क्लियर हो कि यार मेरा तो यही काम है, मेरे को यही करना है. And I feel somewhere if you're able to get the mix of that passion and experience, right, that's where the beauty happens.
Yeah.
People who build functions, who run teams, who are very strong. And then you've got dream, you've got vision, you have got passion. When you get both of these together, it plays a big role. So for us, they were initially तो it wasn't a choice. मतलब जो आने को ready हो जाता था हम बोलते थे आ जाओ मतलब. And then slowly और स्टार्टिंग में ऐसा नहीं लगा कि टीम बहुत बड़ी चीज है. मतलब टीम मतलब ऐसा लगा कि यार हार्ड वर्किंग साथ में मिलके करेंगे एंड विल स्लोली बिल्ड अप. फिर धीरे धीरे एज यू मैच्योर्ड यू अंडरस्टैंड कि यार कहाँ गैप्स हैं एंड यू नीड मोर एक्सपीरियंस, यू नीड मोर नॉलेज एज वेल. इट्स नॉट जस्ट द हार्ड वर्क. वो कॉम्बिनेशन धीरे धीरे तुम हर स्टेज में एक्सप्लोर करते गए. एंड नाउ आई वुड से यार वी गॉट वन ऑफ द बेस्ट टीम्स आउट देयर, लाइक फ्रॉम अ ग्लोबल लीडरशिप पर्सपेक्टिव. We've got a product leader who's come from Dropbox, Microsoft, Amazon, Yahoo. We've got a revenue leader who ran supply chain business for one of the largest supply chain tech company. Similarly, engineering leader who scaled B2B, B2C systems. तो अब 2-3 years back जाते तो हमको लगता था कि यार शायद इतनी नीड ही नहीं है. हमको लगता था कि यार ये तो हो जाएगा. बट वो आई थिंक मेच्योरिटी हिट होती है where you understand कि you need people who are 10x better than you and let them do where they are better at and you give them support. So I think a combination hota hai, Shradha, what I would say, one is finding and getting such people and then giving them enough space to play. Because typically आप ले आते हो but फिर then you start getting into what they're doing. And then it's like यार मेरे को लाइक जो मेरे को करने ही नहीं देना चाहते.
And I think it's a very big spiritual evolution also one has to make as a founder, right? क्या अपने में evolution करना पड़ा है या किया है?
Initially आप extremely conscious होते हो from a cost perspective and then you're trying to run everything on your own. यार ये भी ठीक होना चाहिए, ये भी ठीक होना चाहिए, ये भी ठीक होना चाहिए, right? So it's typically that jigsaw puzzle जो आप दिन भर solve कर रहे हो कि अभी ये कर लेते हैं, अभी ये कर लेते हैं, टीम में ये बंदा जाना नहीं चाहिए, इसको भी रोकना है ला, and you're trying to do everything, right? फिर suddenly funding and investors आती है. तो आप ना वो स्वाम की तरह रखते हो कि आप बाहर से ऐसे होते हो और नीचे से आप पूरी फाइट मार रहे हो. तो अरे यार बाहर फिर आप इन्वेस्टर्स के साथ डील करना लर्न करते हो. एंड वी बीन सुपर लकी. मतलब मैंने इतनी स्टोरी सुनी है बट वी गॉट extremely awesome guys on board. मतलब वो partners या partners से ज़्यादा ही better मैं actually in general मतलब I don't have better words. The kind of folks we got who's like really there to help you. That's it. सिर्फ थोड़ा सा
Genuinely.
genuinely और उसका काम सिर्फ यही है कि यार देख तेरे को कुछ चाहिए तो बता दे, कुछ गलत करेगा तो I'll bring on to the table. Decision तेरा है. So it's such a great partnership in that intent, right? So I think that stage you learn how to scale. अब जिसमें आप टीम बनाना, लोगों को कंट्रोल देना, और उसमें यार हर बंदे का सवाल होता है यार why FarEye should I join? या why
Yeah.
this company I should join? Why this startup? तो उस केस में आप ट्रू भी रहना चाहते हो, प्लस एस्पिरेशनल भी रहना चाहते हो, क्योंकि खाली बता दोगे कि देख सब खराब है इसलिए आजा, तो यार बंदा तो नहीं आएगा ना खरीदने के लिए, तो फिर आप उसके लिए एस्पिरेशनल. सो आई थिंक दैट इज द नेक्स्ट शिफ्ट वेयर you start learning how to give it to your team and how to be enabler then actually be the best player. मतलब
Yeah.
your team में आप best player नहीं चाहिए हो, मतलब the worst is here if you're hitting centuries and taking a hat trick and doing all the catches as well, तो फिर एक दिन वो स्केल ही नहीं हो पाएगा. तो अब वो
Yeah.
हर चीज आपको करवानी है. यू नीड टू बी दैट गाय हूज इंश्योरिंग दैट एवरीथिंग इज हैपनिंग वेल, और जहां नहीं हो रहा है तो वहां पे आप बैलेंस कर रहे हो. फिर नेक्स्ट स्टेज आता है यार जब आप बिजनेस को एक ग्लोबल लेवल पे स्केल करना चाहते हो, राइट? देन एसेंशियली यू आर लुकिंग फॉर स्केलेबल फंक्शंस. तो फिर आप प्रोसेसेस, कंप्लायंस, गवर्नेंस वो वाली मोड में जाते हो, राइट? अब इंटरेस्टिंग क्या है ना यार, ये वाला लेक्चर अगर 2 साल पहले आपको कोई दे रहा होता तो आप बोलते क्या है भाई. So I think the biggest point of founder is to understand what's needed now and tomorrow. And that
Yeah.
is what you are always aligning your head with. That's an art, यार. I don't think वो किसी स्कूल में सिखाई जाती है, किसी कॉलेज में सिखाई जाती है. वो ब्यूटीफुल है, क्योंकि इफ आई गो बैक इन 5 years पहले मेरे को कोई अगर ऐसे सेशन, जो चीज मेरे लिए आज इंपॉर्टेंट है वो नहीं थी. मैं
Yeah.
सर्वाइवल के लिए
Same.
फाइट मार रहा था लाइफ, राइट? फिर मैं थोड़ा सा स्केल के लिए कर रहा था. अब आज मैं ग्लोबल इम्पैक्ट करके नंबर 1 वाला ड्रीम देखता हूँ. यार वी आर ऑल देयर, वी गॉट सो मच मनी, द प्रॉब्लम इज आउट देयर इन द वर्ल्ड, वी गॉट द बेस्ट टीम इन द वर्ल्ड. नाउ लेट्स जस्ट गो आउट एंड बिकम द नंबर 1 एंड डिफाइन द कैटेगरी फॉर अदर्स. मतलब हम
Right.
एसेंशियली यार एवरी सिंगल डिलीवरी इन द वर्ल्ड we can make it awesome for everyone living here. तो अब वो आज बहुत awesome लगता है, बट जब स्टार्ट करते हो तो तुम बहुत दूर हो यार उससे. तो सब्जेक्ट है ना, वो सब्जेक्ट चेंज होता रहता है. आई थिंक दैट इवोल्यूशन एट एवरी स्टेज इज सिग्निफिकेंटली डिफरेंट.
वो माइंडसेट जो रहा लर्निंग का, राइट? सो यू हैव टू बी एक्सट्रीमली ऑल दोज हंग्री, पैशनेट, ठीक है, बट यू हैव टू बी लर्निंग एंड फ्लेक्सिबल.
वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई वुड 100% डबल दैट, क्योंकि कुछ चीजें शायद आज आपको कर रही है, कल आपको वो नहीं करनी, तो आप कितनी जल्दी अपने आप को स्विच कर लेते हो ना यार, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. अब जैसे
Yeah.
पहले इन्वेस्टर आ रहे थे तो सब कुछ तुम ही करते थे. अब आज तुम सब करोगे तो इन्वेस्टर शायद चला जाए, क्योंकि उसको लगे यार इसके पास तो टीम ही नहीं है.
What is it that you talk to your investors, and what did you talk to your investors that you raised this good amount of money?
Yeah, I think right now, and this I'm probably saying in general from behalf of most of the SaaS founders in the country, right? यार B2C B2B बिजनेस के ना मॉडल थोड़े से अलग है. B2C की कैपिटल नीड बहुत ज्यादा है, विनर टेक्स ऑल काफी हद तक बिल्ड हो जाता है, और ग्लोबल एक्सपेंशन थोड़ा सा ज्यादा चैलेंजिंग है. B2B from a software perspective में capital need is little lesser compared to B2C business, I would say. Then from a expansion perspective, if it's a software, it's little easier to scale outside specific regions. You can go to new markets in a easier manner, right? And then, तो वहाँ पे ना अभी I think in India it's the journey for SaaS founders has just started, is what I feel. SaaS का overall I feel that's where now suddenly India में अब वो boom आ गया है, where there's a lot of folks who want to do investments in SaaS businesses and all. So somewhere that you're in demand today, which you were not, let's say, a couple of years back. तो पहले आप 3-4 साल पहले समझाते थे SaaS businesses काफी जनता को. अब ये क्या सबको SaaS में इन्वेस्ट करना है. So that definitely makes it little easier for you to operate it, right? Because you've been known, people want to come and meet you. Now for us, from a boardroom perspective, right? वो ये मतलब ऐसा टिपिकल बोर्डरूम वाला ना फील कभी आया ही नहीं. आई नेवर वर्कड एनीवेयर कॉलेज. तो वो बोर्डरूम खुद के हिसाब से ही सेट किया. एंड एवरी इन्वेस्टर हु केम इन जनरल एडेड लिटिल मोर वैल्यू टू मेक इट इफेक्टिव एंड बेटर, राइट? सो we'll start with your नॉर्मल कंपनी अपडेट्स कि यार देखो ये लास्ट ईयर के हमारे गोल्स थे, लास्ट क्वार्टर के. दिस इज व्हाट बीन एबल टू अचीव, दिस इज आवर लर्निंग. FYI टाइप्स करके which we've already shared but just a narrative part of it. And then we suddenly get into कि यार ये next quarter का है, any thoughts, suggestions, and let's be closed it. And then we get into कि यार ये top 2 strategic items है जिस पे हम चाहते हैं डिस्कस करें, and then we take everyone's view. And then slowly we've gotten into a mode here where even every person who's part of the board has to create value for the organization. तो यार हर बंदे का वो क्या गोल था, क्या अचीव किया. सो एवरीवन इज कमिंग फ्रॉम दैट माइंडसेट कि यार मेरे को ये वैल्यूज क्रिएट करनी थी, डिड आई डिड दैट, एंड देन व्हाट कैन आई डू मोर. कैन आई हेल्प इन मोर इंट्रोडक्शंस, कैन आई हेल्प विद सम hirings, can I help with strategic partnerships, can I help with governance, can I share my experience with teams, can I help maybe with marketing. So there's so many areas, right? मतलब स्टार्टअप में तो आप हर चीज को ही नेक्स्ट स्टेज के लिए इवॉल्व कर रहे हो.
Yeah.
So that way it's a very, मतलब वो आपको board room से कम, you'll find it more as a partnership room where everyone is trying to say yeah, this is where we contributed and this is where we need to. And company में ये 2-3 large opportunities exist करती हैं. And let's just go out and try. So it's very, very infectious to, if I use the word, in that room. And we have our most of our CXOs also part of it. So it's not here. It's only founders who are part of the board meeting. So that gives a great culture of transparency, lot of information.
Yeah.
And then we use the same deck and share with the team as well. So that वो transparency ना top down build हो. मतलब I was eventually of the opinion कि यार board meetings तो आप टीम के साथ भी ओपन करके शेयर कर ही सकते हो. मतलब they can't maybe participate in it because it's like everyone can't say in such a small time, right? But everyone can hear and maybe know what's happening. And the biggest reason is कि यार वो transparency from the top till every engineer in the company, if you can build it right, that just changes the game. क्योंकि अगर मेरे को पता ये इतना important है और ये, then I'll ensure I'll take it up very, very differently than just a task or an activity.
So basically what you're saying कि जितना ट्रांसपेरेंसी रखो सबके साथ उतना सब टुगेदर है.
हाँ यार, मतलब मेरे को लगता है ऑथेंटिसिटी और ट्रांसपेरेंसी ना बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग वैल्यूज है. मतलब वो एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर और ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि यार आपको हर कोई देख रहा है. एवरीवन इज वाचिंग यू एंड यू आर अर्ली इन दैट जर्नी मोर ऑफन देन नॉट. आप उतना एक्सपीरियंस लेके नहीं आए कि इतनी बड़ी कंपनी कैसे रन करनी. तो ये कोर वैल्यूज बहुत बड़ा रोल प्ले करती है व्हेन यू आर देयर. And people then respect you for who you are. It's not कि इसको ऐसे build कर दिया है, इसको ऐसे show कर लेते हैं, board को नहीं बताते ये सारा problems है. All of that will hurt you. यार आपका purpose क्या है? मतलब generally ना that's where it somewhere helps me whenever you're in stuck, right? Ask the purpose. Why are you doing all of it? To make the board happy. No, you didn't start the company to make board happy. You started the company because you wanted to create that impact. Now sharing this information will help. Because they'll be able to figure out maybe some more answers.
So basically what you're saying, खुले रहो, authentic रहो, तो चलेगा सबके साथ.
हाँ यार, मतलब फिर यार जैसे ये देखो ना श्रद्धा, अब आप you doing this session with me, right? Now if you have that confidence कि यार ये बंदा authentic है और honest है, तो अब आप ये evaluate नहीं करोगे what I'm saying. You will try to analyze and help, right? But otherwise, lot of time we're trying to just try to understand. Yeah, why is he saying this? What does she mean by this? Why would be she saying this in front of so many people or he, right? तो आप उस सबसे पूरे बाहर आ गए. आपको पता अच्छा ये प्रॉब्लम है क्या, ये तो ऐसे ही सॉल्व हो जाएगी. So I think the gap between that knowing the problem, right, that is all the friction which exists. So you remove that all through that. And there's another practice we've been trying. Obviously it's a journey which is यार हर फंक्शन में या हर टीम में ना देयर इज इनएफिशिएंसी, देयर इज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ चैलेंजेस, राइट? नाउ इंस्टेड ऑफ एवरीवन एल्स ट्राइंग टू फाइंड इट आउट, you come and say yeah, these are the 3 things which is not working. Now it's very, very difficult executing it, right? But this is the other element we try to build it upon, and it starts with the top. If you can come and say look, these are the 3 things which I could do it well, now everyone slowly starts taking that up. It's okay. It's okay to say, look, I tried, it didn't work. It's okay to
Yeah.
make mistakes. That is the other element I feel, either at a board level or at a team level, works. मतलब बोर्ड को अगर ये कॉन्फिडेंस है ना कि आप ट्रस्ट ऑथेंटिक हो, ऑनेस्ट हो, तो फिर वो आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन के ऊपर आपकी हेल्प करेंगे. दे विल नॉट ट्राई टू जज or get in deeper ki why is this guy saying, is he correct, is something wrong, is something right. I think
Yeah.
that plays a very very big role.
तुमने ड्रैगनियर और दूसरे वाले को क्या बोला?
So my conversation started, we weren't looking for funds, very honestly. We wanted, but we were planning little late this year, honestly, right? And in general, you try to build engagements with investors. It's a learning exercise एक तो, क्योंकि कोई टॉप डाउन जो तुम्हारा बिजनेस जानता ही नहीं है, वो एकदम से देख रहा होता है ना, तो काफी लर्निंग मिलती है कि यार लोग कैसे कैटेगरी को देखते हैं, हाउ आर दे सीइंग, हाउ बिग इज दिस एंड ऑल. So that's where we used to have conversations. Now with them it really went well. We liked the partners, and then we, मतलब हम ना deck या data book, वो जो पूरा kit होता है ना, we didn't prepare it. So it was like I had a word with you. I really liked our conversation. You said ठीक है यार, मैं अपनी टीम से भी मिलवाऊंगा. So I was okay, let me build something and come back. So we just got in things what we had, presented it. You liked it. You said ठीक है मेरी टीम से बात करवा दो. So then we said, यार ये टीम का सबका contact details है. You can speak with whoever you want to. And then you like, यार ये तो काफी open और transparent है. तो आपने सबसे बात कर ली. And then you really liked it. फिर obviously market is, the adoption is very high right now, as you would imagine. क्योंकि कोविड में क्या हुआ है कि home deliveries have become a very crucial part of the business.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know that market is big. 5 years, 1 year, 3 years, it'll always be more than what it is today. तो आप एक
Yeah.
बड़े मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, उसमें फिर आपको पोटेंशियल चाहिए कि वो कंपनी का डीएनए अच्छा है. So they really liked in general founders and the leadership and the team itself. Then from the market, when you hear from customers, from the analysts, then you feel कि यार ये काफी strong player है, who are actually on the journey to globally be number one. और ये category नहीं है, तो इसमें कोई established leader नहीं है. So I think that's all what led to, for us, look, there were a couple of factors we wanted to evaluate, which I was telling you earlier as well. यार बोर्ड में मेरे को बंदा या जो भी पार्टिसिपेंट है, they should be able to create value. They shouldn't be same. We look at it as an investor. Here, how will you be able to help the company grow, achieve its mission? So both TCV and Dragoneer, like TCV का portfolio, if you look at it, right, Netflix, Airbnb, Spotify, and essentially these are category leading companies. So they believe backing up category leading.
Wow.
Right, and that's great. And then they have their entire operational help system which is built, whatever you need. With Dragoneer, like what I loved is when I had these conversations, they were like, look at us as an API. Pull us when you need any help, or we there. And that's such a great feeling to come that, look, we can help you in every single way you want, but you need to call when you need. We don't want to come. You are best of your business, right? And that's why we really like the partners. क्योंकि फंड से ज्यादा ना मेरे को पार्टनर्स लगते हैं जिनसे आप एंगेज होते हो. तो समटाइम्स फील कि वी गेट लॉस्ट इन ओनली इन द फंड कितना बड़ा है, बट नॉट इन द पार्टनर्स whom you would be engaging. I feel partners are as important as the fund, because eventually मैं तो पार्टनर से ही at the end of the day engage कर रहा हूँ day and night, right? So I think the partners was very good. Fund was pretty good. And then they were a little aggressive from a company's view perspective. Ki, haan yaar, we're there. It's a great journey. And that all in general reached to that stage. If you ask me, yaar, did you plan to raise 100 million? I would say when we started the process, we didn't. It's just that for those partners, I was okay to get into extra dilution and get into extra money. What I wanted were real good people on board who can help company grow.
तो अब क्या करोगे इस $100 million का?
हाँ यार, तो देखो ऑपरेशनली तो काफी सही ग्रॉस मार्जिन होता है SaaS में. आई थिंक यू हिट द नेल ऑन द हेड कि यार तुम बिजनेस करने के लिए तो पैसा नहीं जला रहे हो तो ना B2B में, राइट? एंड प्रोडक्ट भी अब इतनी ब्रांड्स यूज करी है ग्लोबली, तो प्रोडक्ट तो हो गई और तुम्हारे पास इंजन भी होगा, राइट? नाउ देयर 2-3 थिंग्स यार, हम जिस स्टेज पे अभी हैं वर्सेस व्हाट द पोटेंशियल इज, राइट? मतलब हम सिर्फ surface 1% ISP nahi hai yaar, the market which exists out there. Right? Now, the only thing we're trying to go is, can we make that 5-7 years growth in 2-3 years? दैट
Hmm.
इज वेयर लाइक ऐसा नहीं है कि ये ग्रोथ के लिए आपको इतना कैपिटल चाहिए होगा, बट आपको टाइम ज्यादा लगेगा. दैट इज द
Yeah.
ओनली थिंग. Right now, you want to get into that global leadership and be that number one platform is where you get little more aggressive. Ki, yaar, I want to get a larger market share within 1 year, 2 years period. That is one big reason for the need of capital versus going little longer
Yeah. Okay.
duration
Got
in
it.
that journey. और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली आपका प्रोडक्ट, आपका बिजनेस एक्सपेंशन, आपका इनोवेशन, लॉट ऑफ थिंग चेंजेस. And then also you look at some inorganic opportunities. Yeah, companies in similar space who building products which are, let's say, can be tied up, strategic, a good mindset from a founder. So आप उसको collectively explore कर सकते हो. And I think, look, it's not that money builds the company. यार ये essentially ना fuel है, मेरे को लगता है. Vehicle नहीं है और ड्राइवर नहीं है. तो यार देखो, गाड़ी तो गाड़ी बनानी ही होगी और ड्राइवर को गाड़ी चलानी होगी. बट अगर आपके फ्यूल थोड़ा सा एक्स्ट्रा है ना, तो आप एक्सेलरेट तरीके से ड्राइव कर सकते हो. मतलब आपको फिर थोड़ा सा एक दो रोड्स आपने लेफ्ट राइट ली, सो यू स्टिल ओके विद इट. आई थिंक दैट्स वन element which helps. And as you scale in Europe and US, I think that capital really helps you to go a little more aggressive on those markets as well.
Though, last before I let you go, तुम्हें COVID हुआ. What was going in your mind and during that time? You know, did it in any way got a new perspective or a new way of thinking or new way of living in your life?
यार
Yeah.
एब्सोल्युटली. यार मेरे को ये लगा ना कि मतलब आपका पैशन है, आपका एक गोल है, एक पर्पस है, आप बट कई बार आप उसके अलावा शायद पीपल एलिमेंट को, फैमिली एलिमेंट को ज्यादा इग्नोर कर देते हो. ठीक है. एंड यू स्टार्ट टेकिंग इट फॉर ग्रांटेड.
Yes.
दैट इज वन थिंग. एंड स्पेसिफिकली द लव्ड वंस, राइट. मतलब आपके लिए टीम शायद ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट होने लग जाती है.
Yeah,
तो
absolutely.
गलत नहीं है, बट ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ये भी तो सही नहीं है ना. तो
Yeah.
वो आई थिंक वो पर्सपेक्टिव काफी अच्छे से क्लियर हुआ यार. एंड व्हेन यू स्पोक टू सो मेनी पीपल एंड some or the other had a challenge with their loved ones, some casualties, some tough times.
Yeah.
So then you start realizing कि यार, are you really balancing it well? I think वो balance जो था ना, वो शायद थोड़ा सा मेरे मेरे वाले सिस्टम में गड़बड़ था. तो वो मैंने
सबके
थोड़ा सा
सिस्टम
टेस्ट
में
किया.
सबके सिस्टम में गड़बड़ था. बट कितने लोग सुधरते हैं इसके बाद वो देखने वाली बात है. वी आर रूटिंग दैट all amazing thing happens and FarEye goes very very far, very very far. And as you said, your dream is to be the number one in this category, right? Okay.
Absolutely. It
Thank
is.
you.
Thank
Thanks,
you so
Kushal.
much.